Hello, my name is Lena Lee, a Chinese American fourth-year global health major at UCSD with a focus on global mental health, specifically surrounding the Asian diaspora in the US. The field of global mental health has increasingly acknowledged the inadequacy of existing definitions to address the issues experienced by people of color within the global North sphere and beyond it. Specifically, such definitions and applications are rather Euro-American bound, unable to grasp, much less relieve, the circumstances survived by non-white, non-quote-unquote Western populations in ways that do not further colonial impact. Mental health stigma, for example, is understood as a primarily quote-unquote cultural barrier to healthcare. Studies on stigma are thought about from a decontextualized picture of cultural mis- or non-understanding, frequently unconcerned with the concept's own social, cultural, and political bedrocks, including that of global racial capitalism. The pervasiveness of stigma among non-white groups in the US is regularly understood along the lines of cultural deficit, a conclusion that both marks and obscures realities of colonialism and imperialism. My research aims to begin disentangling mental health stigma as it is used in popular discourses, aka a seemingly natural barrier to biomedical and psychiatric healthcare, as largely overshadowing, flattening, and even vacating entirely the everyday forms of systemic violence that differentially oppressed communities, including Chinese immigrants, are made to face in the US. This argument is made upon the basis of lived immigrant survival within structures of power, in which people are not only acutely aware of the structural conditions under which they must live, but also must navigate them through various intelligent and deeply felt ways. I investigate how ascribing much mental health stigma to these groups does not straightforwardly serve to destigmatize Chinese immigrant people and other diasporic communities. Rather, it may very well reinscribe them in existing, ever-adapting colonial constructions. Amidst popular discourses about breaking down barriers, it is important to consider what stigma of the US-American model of mental health constitutes. In doing so, I hope to better situate mental health stigma as an important site of critical study in relation to larger projects of power, as well as take seriously the apparent illiteracy, ignorance, and ambivalence toward mental health in Chinese immigrant communities, especially as their own knowledge systems. My frameworks for analysis draw on many critical study scholarship like that on empire, disability, global racial capitalism, and the coloniality of gender. I am adapted especially to the work of disabled women of color and Native scholarship on helping me to begin thinking around these issues. I also want to thank Dr. Giselle Sanchez for being my undergrad thesis advisor. Thanks for listening.